It was easy to make happen.
So
Two competitors that want to fight.
You got the ball rolling?
Yeah, I did.
Wow. And that was just out of, hey, let's just get this done. I wanna make it happen. So let me hit the guy up.
Honestly, I had been set it up with the higher power people. I kind of asked them, can we make
would align with a ring that size, a negative style, as we mentioned. It really comes down to the fan interest. Jake Paul is on a 2-fight stretch coming into this one, which really put his reputation on the line.
I'm retiring from boxing. I'm getting hit in the face every single day.
I mean, if he want to retire with the career that he got, then go ahead and do whatever you got to do. So I disagree with it. I think it's soft, but that's on him.
Shakur Stevenson boldly calls out Jake Paul after his loss to Anthony Joshua. Yes, you heard it right. Despite the massive weight difference, Stevenson isn't backing down, setting up a scenario similar to Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis. The elite-level fighter is challenging Paul, proving real skill and power always dominate in the ring.
I think it's really not affecting the real fighters. People like me, I don't really get into it too much. I like Jake Paul. I think he's been doing his thing. But truth be told, I really care so about the real boxing at the end of the day.
Roy Jones Jr. points out the size difference, but it seems Shakur Stevenson forgot his own words. He once called Jake Paul fights disrespectful to the sport, and now suddenly he's itching for a piece of Paul himself. This is the same man preaching respect, now diving headfirst into the chaos he once mocked.
Into the size difference.
It's no reaction to size difference, you know, I'm used to that. I gave Ruiz 27 pounds and still did what I had to do, so that's nothing new to me. You know, you're trying to shock the world, you gotta do something different to shock the world.
Floyd Mayweather giving his take, but let's be real. Shakur Stevenson calling out Jake Paul after watching Anthony Joshua dismantle him is exactly the kind of chaos Floyd loves. Stevenson is suddenly all about testing his skills in a circus fight he once criticized. It's almost comedic to see someone preach class and then chase controversy.
I already spoke about that on my social media page. I want to see all young athletes do good. Why?
Dillian White's laughter says it all. Shakur Stevenson, who slammed Jake Paul's fights before, is now lining up to challenge the same guy. It's almost a meme in motion. Watching him switch from critic to challenger in record time is pure gold, and it really underlines how unpredictable and entertaining this fight circus has become.
Sorry, I'm just laughing because he got beat up so bad.
Stevenson is boldly stepping into uncharted territory by calling out Jake Paul after watching Anthony Joshua flatten him. He's throwing down a challenge that's part spectacle, part test of legitimacy. For someone who once criticized these crossover fights, it's entertaining to see him now craving the spotlight in the same circus he mocked.
I'm a dog. I'm top level, elite level fighter. So let's make boxing great again. Let's put the best fighters in the ring with each other, and let's see who come out victorious.
Duke McKenzie's words perfectly highlight why this potential Stevenson vs. Jake Paul matchup is so intriguing. Shakur stepping up is a clear poke at Paul's lack of traditional ring dominance, but it also teases a clash of styles. Fans are now curious if Stevenson will treat it as serious boxing or another high-profile circus.
From the minute he got into that ring, to get on the back foot and just start running around, it was quite pathetic.
Stevenson finally gives credit where it's due, acknowledging Paul's surprising skills and raw power. It's a strategic nod that builds hype for their showdown, showing he's aware he can't underestimate this opponent. The tone is equal parts respect and challenge, setting the stage for a fight that could easily steal the spotlight.
I think Jake takes boxing at least serious. Like,
yes.
he puts.
Yeah, I think he do. I think that he do real training camps. He got real boxers around him, and Jay Leon Love, and I think that BJ Flores dude was a boxer maybe. So I think that he do take it serious. Just different.
Duke McKenzie perfectly exposes Jake Paul's biggest flaw. The guy tips the scales at around 19.2 pounds, but moves like he's scared of real action. Shakur Stevenson, at a crisp 13.5 pounds, may seem smaller but is a tactical nightmare, and watching him call out Paul feels like a masterclass in poking a scared boxer while mixing respect with brutal mockery. Fans are already laughing at the idea of Paul trying to survive against someone who can make him look amateur in the blink of an eye.
Paul is concerned because that's not boxing. He was just trying to survive. And when you try to survive in a fight, then the other guy can't knock you out.
Johnny Nelson nails the absurdity of Jake Paul's situation. Paul, the 1980-pound fighter, barely withstands pressure from Anthony Joshua, exposing a mental fragility that Stevenson is ready to exploit. Stevenson's 13.5 pounds may be a size disadvantage, but skill, timing, and mental composure are on his side. Paul's theatrics in the ring make him a perfect target for mockery and hype, and the contrast between his size and his cowardice only fuels anticipation for Stevenson's clever taunting and calculated strategy. Fans can't help but laugh imagining Paul dropping to his knees under someone so much smaller, yet so much sharper.
They wanted AJ to knock this boy out clean and get rid of him because they, you know, everybody I've spoken to, they just wanted, they're like, I want to see Jake Paul get knocked out. And I just said, I don't want to see him get knocked out. I want to see him get beat up. I want to see him quit. I want to see the reality of everything he's saying and doing kick in. And in a way it did happen, but he didn't get beat up. And slowly but surely the confidence, the self-belief ripped out of him to the point where he's dropping on his knees. He's like, he must have fallen down about 12 times.
Tyson Fury's praise for Joshua's co indirectly rubs salt into Jake Paul's wounds. The 19-over-pound YouTuber is being compared to elite athletes, and Stevenson is watching all this unfold with a grin. Stevenson calling Paul out now is a calculated move, teasing the media circus while showing he isn't afraid to challenge someone who hides behind hype. Paul's size may be impressive to casual fans, but in the ring, his lack of experience and predictable reactions make him vulnerable to a smaller but superior technician like Stevenson, turning Paul's brawn into comic relief.
It was a fantastic knockout, and I almost got it right. I predicted 1 round.
Joshua's analysis exposes how Paul, despite weighing 1980 pounds, crumbled under pressure. Stevenson's 13.5-pound frame is deceptive. He can move faster, think quicker, and exploit every gap in Paul's survival-based style. Calling out Paul now is both playful and pointed, highlighting Paul's weaknesses while teasing a fight where the size advantage might not even matter. The idea of Stevenson landing precise counters on a heavier but panic-prone opponent makes this matchup irresistible to fans who love skill over hype.
Everyone in this venue, now, you asked me a question. Look. It wasn't the best performance. It wasn't the best. The end goal was to get Jake Paul, pin him down, and hurt him. That has been the request leading up, and that was on my mind. It took a bit longer than expected, but
Joseph Parker's praise underlines just how exposed Jake Paul really is. Stevenson calling him out now is like a trap being set for the bigger fighter. Paul, at 1980 pounds, relies on size, yet in the ring, it barely translates into dominance. Stevenson, though smaller, has precision, speed, and boxing eke, making him a nightmare matchup. The contrast of Paul's theatrics versus Stevenson's tactical poise adds layers to the narrative, turning this potential bout into a spectacle of brains versus brawn, while subtly mocking Paul for thinking size alone can intimidate elite professionals.
I think he did what he had to do. He went out there, took his time, chased him down, unloaded and got the knockout. So it's what we were expecting. I thought it'd be earlier, but he got the job done. So congratulations to Joshua.
Eddie Hearn's words perfectly highlight the disaster that was Jake Paul in the ring. Watching him take punishment like that and still wobble around like he's trying is comedy gold. Stevenson calling him out now adds another layer of ridicule because Paul's confidence evaporates under pressure. The way Paul attempts to sell toughness makes him an easy target for a smarter, faster fighter who can make him look amateur, while Stevenson's words alone already sting harder than a punch. Fans can imagine Stevenson dancing circles around him while Paul flails, trying to cling to the illusion of being a serious boxer, which adds drama and hype to the potential matchup.
Hit him 4 or 5 times early in the first round, flush, didn't even flinch. You see that tonight? That was an absolute abomination, if that is even a word, because that is a monster. The #1 heavyweight in the world. He gets in the ring with
Jake Paul's own admission exposes the comedy of his situation. The guy talks like he's tough, but even admits to being utterly destroyed. Stevenson calling him out now turns the spotlight on Paul's theatrics and self-delusion. It's almost cartoonish to imagine Paul trying to hold his ground against someone who actually knows boxing. Stevenson can poke fun at every excuse, every groan, and every dramatic facial expression Paul makes, turning what could be a simple fight into a spectacle of embarrassment. The potential encounter is already rich with storylines of a smaller, elite-level fighter dismantling a YouTube star, whose bravado is bigger than his actual skill set.
My jaw is broken, by the way, so... Yeah. It's definitely broke. But, man, that was good. Nice little ass whooping from one of the best to ever do it. So.
The commentary highlights the chaotic vulnerability Jake Paul faced against Anthony Joshua. He acts like a fighter but lacks the fundamentals to survive real punishment. Stevenson calling him out now isn't just about a fight, it's about pointing out Paul's inflated ego and questionable courage. Fans are already laughing at the idea of Paul taking serious shots while trying to act confident. Stevenson can emphasize every bad habit Paul has, the panic in his eyes, and his clownish movements. The narrative becomes clear. Paul is a performer, not a fighter, and Stevenson is ready to turn his theatrics into a cautionary tale about what happens when hype meets genuine skill in the ring.
Krezis ain't getting up from that one. That shit was dumb. He hit him right off the temple. AJ hit him like he don't give a shit about his well-being. AJ hit him like he don't give a shit. He was like, bam, like he don't care about his well-being at all.
Logan Paul's take shows just how chaotic Jake Paul's toughness looks from the outside. It's impressive in a YouTube sense, but laughable when you compare it to elite fighters like Stevenson. Stevenson calling him out now amplifies this contrast, mocking the idea that survival is a skill. The story writes itself. Paul flounders, falls, and rolls around like an overgrown child trying to act serious. Fans are set for a fight where strategy, precision, and technique will dominate, while Paul's drama and posturing will be the punchline. Stevenson has a golden opportunity to showcase the difference between real skill and hype-driven bravado.
AJ, in my opinion, won 4 of them. People will argue that he at least won 3. No one expected him to last that long. Rolled his ankle, broke his jaw, still fucking fighting, man. Like, that's toughness. You know, most people wouldn't have the balls ever to step in a boxing ring in their life. He stepped in a boxing ring with one of the baddest men on the planet. Who's 40 pounds heavier than him and 6 inches taller. What?
Daniel Cormier's observation perfectly sets the stage for Stevenson to exploit. Paul may try to act confident, but stepping into the ring with a world-class technician exposes just how out of his depth he is. Stevenson calling him out now feels like a masterful tease, highlighting Paul's inflated reputation. Fans can already imagine Stevenson making Paul look like a beginner, using intelligence and speed, while Paul struggles to figure out what's real. This fight could turn into a display of comedy and precision, and Stevenson's ability to expose Paul's weaknesses without even throwing a haymaker adds anticipation, drama, and a touch of merciless trolling to the matchup.
Look good, dude.
Joshua looked good.
He looked good right off.
Joshua actually looked like he was fighting a guy that was...
The situation is set and the stakes are high. Shakur Stevenson calling out Jake Paul after Anthony Joshua dismantled him is a statement dripping with confidence and strategy. Stevenson knows exactly what he is doing. He is not just challenging a YouTube star, he's exposing every flaw, every fake bravado, and every weakness Paul desperately tried to hide. This fight would be a masterclass in technique against theatrics, precision against panic. Paul may talk big, but his ring IQ and reaction under pressure were laughable against Joshua, and Stevenson is ready to turn that into his own highlight reel. The mental game already favors Stevenson because he understands the science of boxing, while Paul relies on hype and luck. Fans can expect to see a smaller, faster, sharper fighter dismantling a larger opponent who thinks he is invincible. Are you backing Shakur Stevenson to dominate and humiliate Jake Paul in the ring, or do you think Paul can shock the world with his overblown ego and luck? Drop your thoughts below and join the debate.